afternoon, and welcome to a very special event, your graduation from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I am Dr. Susan Hansen, the Interim Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and on behalf of everyone here, welcome to today's ceremony. Would you please remove your hats for the singing of the national anthem, led by John Doyle.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Today, you become part of another special family, that being the UW-Platteville alumni. This is the 202nd Commencement ceremony at UW-Platteville, where more than 57,000 graduates have earned their diplomas. Congratulations to all our candidates here today. Today, we will salute graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, School of Graduate Studies, College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, and 2 majors within the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. Yesterday, the ceremony for the School of Business and the School of Graduate Studies took place. In all, we have 1,054 undergraduate and 128 graduate candidates in the 4 ceremonies. As for today's ceremony, we will hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, our principal speaker, our chancellor. We will then recognize some special people and finally present the candidates for graduation. Each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent the graduating seniors. This year's speaker is Jane Denali Dickler. Jane is from Dodgeville, Wisconsin, and has used her classroom learning, practicum experience, and additional campus opportunities to make the most of her collegiate career. She's an elementary education major with an early childhood minor. In addition to her practicum experiences at several schools, she's the president of the Society of Physics Students, secretary of Pioneer Rocketry, and education captain of Pioneer Rocketry. She's also a world traveler with visiting more than 20 countries and 43 states. Please welcome Jane.
Welcome, friends and family, to the 2019 LAE Civil and Environmental Engineering graduation. To all my fellow graduates, congratulations on surviving college. We all know how hard we worked to reach this moment, and hopefully the tassel was worth the hassle. Throughout my years in school, I have learned to take notice of the little things around us. The little things can be influences, details, or processes. We notice the little things for several reasons. We may be impacted by a person, notice some details in life that make that moment a little more enjoyable, or focus on a project to create a more successful outcome. No matter the type of little thing, they do make a difference. I want you to all think of someone who has influenced you. This person could be a parent, sibling, friend, or colleague. I want you to think what this person has done to influence you. You are who you are today in part because of them. What would you be like if you hadn't met them? Perhaps you've overlooked the impact they've made on your life. When I was in high school, I had to take Algebra 2 and Trig. While the engineers in this room may have thought that class was a breeze, I struggled to understand why algebra wanted me to find his ex, since it was clear she was never coming back. I'm just kidding, but I did struggle in math so much that I was not sure I would pass. I remember a meeting with my teacher who told me that with all of my efforts, she wanted to pass me through if I were not going to college. However, if I were planning to go to college, I had to learn the math. It was not until I passed her class and graduated that I came to appreciate this teacher and all of her efforts. This extra help became an inspiration for me. She probably did not even realize how important her extra help was. Those few extra moments in her day would ultimately make it possible for me to join Pioneer Rocketry, a club that emphasizes in math and science. The confidence I had gained in math gave me the courage to excel in this group. It's not like I was trying to do rocket science or anything. No way. But that's beside the point. Most of the time, you are unaware of the importance of the small things we do. We are now even more important influences than we were yesterday. We are now the ones who may change a person just by taking an extra moment here and there. Everyone in this room today has the power to be influential to someone. Many of you already are and may not even know it. When you pay attention to detail, the big picture will take care of itself. Details are all around us. What are you doing at this moment? Perhaps you're noticing the dandruff on the person sitting in front of you, or thinking about where you're going out after graduation. Maybe you're totally focused on this experience, capturing each detail of this ceremony that marks one of your most significant achievements to date. It's up to us to determine which details we pay attention to. Details that can help us or bring us joy are more worthy of our attention than details that are unhelpful and negative. I challenge everyone to try and notice the small positive things around you, and to in turn create positive things for others. Joe Girard once said, "The elevator to success is out of order. You'll have to take the stairs, one step at a time." The small steps in a process may be tedious, but are necessary for a greater outcome. We all have goals and dreams we probably wish we could have happen tomorrow. You should always have goals and dreams. Yesterday, my goal was to survive this speech. Tomorrow, my goal will be different. When we think about how large a task it is to achieve our goals and dreams, we can easily become discouraged. How can we possibly reach that goal? It's so far away, so expensive, so difficult, it seems impossible. When we get into that mindset, we lose faith in our abilities. We stop doing our best work because we think, why bother? I will never be able to reach the bar that I set for myself. I chose my goals and dreams. I set that bar. And if I set that bar for myself, then I must think that I can do it. I want you to all contemplate your current goals and dreams. How high have you set the bar? Now I want you to imagine a playground with monkey bars from back when we were all in elementary school. At that age, we are too short to reach the bars. We need to climb the ladder to get there. Right now, your goals and dreams are on the highest bars. Right now, you may be on the ground, looking up and feeling discouraged. Remember, we have a ladder right next to us. Every single one of us follows some sort of a process that will help us achieve our goals. I am confident every graduate in this room can think of one process you must follow to do your jobs to create a safer world, a cleaner environment, a more diverse culture, and a more structurally sound world. Each detail in your process is one step on that ladder. Keep taking those little steps. Be persistent. be careful and do your best work. And remember, most importantly, pay attention to the details. You just need to be that teacher that is a little more attentive, that engineer that runs the calculations one more time, and that person who takes the extra moment to achieve the little things. Before you know it, you've obtained your bigger picture. So once again, congratulations, class of 2019, and thank you to everyone who has come out to celebrate with us and for making this day possible.
Thank you, Jane. Today's principal speaker is Dr. Artanya Wesley. Artanya serves as a student affairs professional at the University of Wisconsin System for 13 years. She attained a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and a Master of Science in Education at UW-Platteville. She also received her doctorate specializing in educational psychology from Capella University in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Artanya currently serves as the Dean of Students and Interim Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at UW-Whitewater. Prior to her roles at UW-Whitewater, Artanya served as a Senior Academic Planner for Student Affairs in the Office of Inclusivity, Diversity, and Equity, and Student Success at the University of Wisconsin System Administration. She was recognized for her outstanding contributions to the UW system and was presented with the Women of Color in Education Award in 2009. In addition to this award, Artanya has been honored with the Outstanding Alumni Award from UW-Platteville in 2017. Please welcome Dr. Wesley.
Good afternoon, graduates, and welcome to all the parents, family, friends, and distinguished guests. It is such an honor to be here with you all today, sharing in this wonderful and memorable milestone in your lives. Chancellor Shields, cabinet members, as well as the faculty and staff of UW-Platteville. Here is another one in the books of graduating students who are now well prepared to go out into the world and make a profound impact across the globe. So graduates, I have one question for you. What you gonna be? 19 years ago, I remember being sat down on the swing in front of Wilgus Hall by my Aunt Deb. Just as we had unloaded my last box of CDs and VHS tapes, some y'all don't know nothing about. My Aunt Deb had a look of worry, fear, and concern written all over her face. She took in a deep breath as she summons the strength from our ancestors. And with courage and conviction, she uttered 4 words to me that she ultimately turned into 3. She said, "What you gonna be?" I looked back at her, puzzled and a little confused. I didn't sense she wanted me to explain what kind of major undecided was for the umpteenth time. I could feel the tears beginning to swelter. Did I mention we were both criers? She asked me again in a much clearer and tranquil voice, "What you gonna be?" I looked at her and said, "Aunt Deb, what do you mean?" She said, "You done went through it all, baby. You have lost so much. Losing your mother at 13, losing your father to depression and drug addiction shortly after, as well as living from house to house and still managing to graduate from high school. Artanya, you have faced enormous challenges in your 18 years of living." She said, "You have an opportunity that many are not affording. Who you decide to be is your choice. Your future is up to you now. Your past, oh, it's definitely a part of you, but it doesn't have to necessarily define you. So what you gonna be?" Graduates, you have achieved a great accomplishment. Today marks the beginning of a new day and the start of your journey in determining what you gonna be. All right, class of 2019. I need a little help from you all today. You weren't going to get off that easy. When I say from here on out what you're going to be, I need you all to respond back, it's up to me. Now, we're going to practice this a couple of times because I need you all to be on point. And I need it to go exactly how I practiced when I was in the hotel in the bathroom. Okay? All right? So here we go. What you gonna be? I know y'all can do better than that. Y'all the class of 2019. What you gonna be? All right, y'all ready? Now, I'm not talking about what your major is, nor am I asking you what you plan to do to make a living. I'm sure those two questions you have been asked time and time again throughout your academic journey. I'm not asking either what others expect of you. I'm asking what you gonna be. Okay, y'all gonna have to pick it up for me here. Are you gonna be a global humanitarian? Are you going to make people smile? Are you gonna be a leader, a great leader, a caring leader? Will service be the rent you pay to occupy the space, your space, on this planet? What you gonna be? Will you leave the spaces you occupy better than you found them? Will you love and allow love? Will you build people up? Will you exemplify flawless integrity? Will you challenge your socialization when your ideology conflicts with fact? Will you include all those who aren't typically invited to the table to contribute to the solutions? Will you seek to understand and accept those who look different from you, who may speak differently from you, who may have different ideologies than you, or those who may come from different backgrounds than you? Will you be what the planet needs you to be to ensure that all humans can live life abundantly? What you gonna be? Will you practice compassion? Will you be the voice of justice for those who are unable to speak up for themselves? Will you motivate, transform, and inspire all those around you? Will you be a change agent? Will you be slow to judgment? Will you offer grace? The Dalai Lama says, the planet doesn't need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kind. I say, the planet desperately needs to redefine what it means to be successful. And the matrix should be based on whether you are a storyteller, a healer, a peacemaker, a restorer, and a lover of all kind. My grandmother was known for her love and kindness amongst all she encountered. She was a woman who genuinely and authentically cared for others. It didn't matter to her where you came from, what color you were, whether you were involved in the right thing or the wrong thing. She had a famous saying, and she would say it exactly like this in this voice: I love you. And she would open her home, the doors in her home, invite you in, cook you a home-good meal, and send you on your way. My grandmother mopped floors of Columbia St. Mary's Hospital on the east side of Milwaukee for over 20 years. She talked to everyone she encountered throughout her day. My grandmother was treated with the utmost care and respect by everyone, from surgeons to nurses. Her respect that she received had nothing to do with her salary or the job she performed on a day-to-day basis, but it had everything to do with how she treated people and how she interacted with people. When my mother was sick in the hospital, and my family was faced with selecting the best treatment options. I could tell as a young child it was very overwhelming for my mother and my father. My grandmother picked up her black purse, pulled out her Rolodex, another something y'all don't know nothing about, and she began to reach out to her network of doctors and oncologists that she had built relationships with over the years. Some of them weren't even employed any longer at the hospital. But because of who my grandmother was, her character, her personhood, her ability to connect with people, many of them willingly, without any question, donated their time to review my mother's files and offer their recommendations for treatment. My little 5'2" grandmother performed manual labor her entire life. She created an intricate network of connections with all those she came into contact with by expressing honesty, integrity, care, compassion, and love. My grandmother's blueprint is what I continue to follow in my pursuit of being what I'ma be. UW-Platteville class of 2019. It is now time to combine your world-class education with the practice and implementation of honesty, integrity, care, compassion, and love. I want to leave you with a quote, one of my favorite quotes by Pablo Picasso. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So what you gonna be? All right.
Thank you for your inspirational words. Thank you. I now ask that Dan Smith, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the Alumni Lifetime Memberships.
Thank you, Dr. Hanson. By graduating here today, you are now part of a special group, UW-Platteville alumni. And you are not alone. I now ask all UW-Platteville alumni in the audience to please stand and be recognized. I, along with the alumni here today, would officially like to welcome you, the class of 2019, as UW-Platteville alumni. Thank you. The UW-Platteville Alumni Association annually recognizes graduates with the Honorary Lifetime Pioneer Award by awarding them lifetime membership into the Alumni Association. The award is based on a variety of criteria, including campus activities and leadership, community involvement, professional development and employment, academic excellence, and the probability of future involvement in the Alumni Association. I ask the following graduates to stand and be recognized as the College of LAE's Alumni Association Lifetime Recipient. Nicholas Strott. Congratulations, Nicholas.
Thank you, Dan. Dennis J. Shields has been the University of Wisconsin-Platteville Chancellor since 2010, and during that time he led the university to tremendous growth in students, programs, and facilities. Most recently, he piloted an impressive effort to gain legislative and gubernatorial approval to build a new $55 million state-of-the-art engineering facility on campus, as well as a $23.7 million renovation project for Babel Hall. Those two projects, plus $15.3 million in Williams Fieldhouse expansion, will give UW-Platteville more than $93 million in upcoming growth and improvements that will transform the campus. An Iowa native, Chancellor Shields earned his undergraduate degree in business administration from Gracelon College in 1977 and his Juris Doctorate from the University of Iowa College of Law in 1982. Immediately prior to becoming chancellor at UW-Platteville, he served as acting vice president of student affairs at the City College of New York, City University of New York. He held administrative positions at the Phoenix School of Law, Duke University of Law, University of Michigan Law School, and the University of Iowa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chancellor Dennis J. Shields.
Thank you. Before I start my formal remarks, let me just make a couple of observations. My children are all grown. They're still in my pocket, but they're grown. But if I had children entering elementary school, you're the kind of teacher I'd want them to have. Second, there's someone missing from this ceremony because she's a little under the weather. Dr. Joanne Wilson, who serves as our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Her service at this university is approaching, I think, 34 years. This is one of her favorite days, and I want to tell you that if there was any way possible for her to be here, she would be here. So I wanted her to be here in spirit by at least my bringing her name up and bringing that to your attention. The last thing I'll say is, you know, sometimes it's a good thing to be the third speaker. Other times, it's a little tough act to follow. So, here we go. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's pretty good. You're better than the morning or evening last night. It is a great honor to be here at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville ceremony honoring the graduates of 2019. Congratulations. To the friends and families here today, and to our faculty, and God bless you, I think every one of you showed up today. Thank you. And to the staff, thank you for the support and encouragement you provided these students during their time at this university. Your teaching, your support, and your belief that they had the potential to grow made a significant contribution to the ability of these graduates to enjoy this achievement today. Graduates, during your college career, you have accomplished great things and are now ready to go out into the world. Well done. You deserve all the recognition you receive today. Now, of course, you're going to have to listen to a little advice from me. Some of it may be a little repetitive from our earlier speakers. But my advice, basically, is to keep learning. When you leave here, continue to learn new things and build your skills, just like you did during your time at this university. I am confident that if you follow this advice, you will be able to make a positive impact on the world at large. During the course of your lives, your work worlds will evolve and change. As a pioneer, you will be able to thrive in this environment if you are committed to acquiring new knowledge and insight as you go. And there is no doubt, no matter where you go from here, that you will encounter people whose life experiences are completely different from your own. Your willingness to learn and be open to new cultures and ideas will be essential to your ability to thrive in the diverse world that awaits you. Now, I understand we are all products of our own environments, of the communities where we were raised and the schools we have attended. And it is also true that we can be limited by these environments because we're accustomed to thinking about things a certain way in conjunction with people around us who have had basically similar life experiences and hold similar beliefs. And so there are things we don't know because we haven't been exposed to them. Today, we live in a global environment, even close to home. In the past several years in my role as chancellor, I've visited more than 100 businesses in southwest Wisconsin, and nearly all of them are doing business globally. They either acquire raw materials and services from global suppliers, or they sell their products around the world. Additionally, we now live together locally with friends, neighbors, and co-workers who have varied backgrounds that are different from our own. But as a society, we have become very polarized and so caught up in the concept of winning that we are often unable to listen to each other, and therefore sometimes we struggle to find common ground with people we do not know. Dr. David Bornstein, founder of Solutions Journalism Network, which focuses on reporting about responses to social problems, recently argued in the New York Times that the most important thing is to be able to hear and acknowledge each other's stories. And we can do that without agreeing on exactly what happened or, and this is key, agreeing on whose fault or responsibility it is. Brene Brown, in her Netflix special on courage and vulnerability, talks about how good results come out of the willingness to have difficult conversations. Brown thinks that we need to stop talking about each other and start talking to each other, something that many of us find difficult from time to time. But if we make it a habit to talk to each other, we can learn more about each other, we can communicate better, we can ask better questions, listen more effectively, and have productive conversations that lead to solutions that work for everyone. Now, graduates, I understand you think this is the end of your learning, but I'm asking you today to commit to keep learning, especially when your strongly held views are called into question. I'm asking that you welcome the opportunity to learn new things and be willing to listen to new perspectives. And you know, sometimes you'll change your mind, and sometimes you won't. And it will probably require you occasionally to have uncomfortable conversations, conversations that may get worse before they get better. But they will get better and enable you to contribute to the creation of solutions that will make a positive difference. Now, I know this because of my own personal journey. I grew up in rural Iowa. From ages 7 to 11, I lived in a town of about 1,500. And that was during the mid-1960s, during the height of the civil rights movement, a time of great turmoil. I was a foster kid, and I lived with the only black family in the county. I was fortunate in a number of ways. I was able to attend great schools with fine teachers, but my experience was different from my peers simply because I was an African American. My foster father, Dr. Robert Carney, was from Ohio, and his wife was from Connecticut. Dr. Carney and Mrs. Carney attended college, and he attended medical school in the segregated South in the mid-50s. While I lived with the family, we would travel every summer to their homes in Ohio and New York. And on those trips, I was exposed to their college and medical school classmates along the way. As I've reflected on these experiences, I realized these journeys were learning experiences for me. The people I met and the experiences I had introduced me to an African American community of high achievement. What I learned impacted me so much that I made it a point to name my 2 oldest sons after black scientists, George Washington Carver and Percy LaVaughn Julian. Further, because the doctor and his wife experienced segregation personally, they observed and engaged the civil rights movement in a more personal way than most of my friends and their families in rural Iowa. As a result, at a very young age, I was aware that people had different views, experiences, and perspectives. But I also knew that the values that were important to my Iowa friends and family were the same kind of values held by people in other parts of the country. And I learned that it was possible to know about the experiences of others and learn about those experiences without thinking less of myself or the place I was from or the people who live there. I tell you, I'm eternally grateful for my grade school experience in Iowa, for my foster family, and for the families that lived in my town. I'm sure that if you even follow a little bit of this advice to keep learning, you will be able to adapt to new circumstances, interact with a broad range of people, and maintain confidence in the idea that you can always find a way to succeed. I want to be clear about something. I am not asking you to compromise your values or to change your opinions about what you think is important. But I am asking that you be open to the perspectives of others and to create opportunities for consensus. Graduates, you are pioneers, and therefore you have the capacity to make a hugely positive impact on the communities that you choose to live in. So, in closing, I'm going to ask the same thing of you that I ask of every graduating class. Please, engage your communities, and I mean that literally. Serve on the school board or the city council, volunteer at a nonprofit or a church, coach a youth sports program, or become a mentor. In other words, do things to make life better for those around you. In so doing, you will achieve a couple of things. You will promote the well-being of your community and provide yourself the opportunity to learn about others. As the pioneers who've come before you, you will have a powerful impact on the world. Your alma mater has great confidence in you, and know that when you walk out of these doors today, that you have the power to make every day a great day to be a pioneer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. You may wonder what the different colored stoles and cords that are around many of our graduates. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flags of their home countries. UW-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flags of the countries where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies also bestowed different color stoles and pins on their graduates, representing additional extracurricular and high-impact practice learning. I call special attention to those wearing gold honor cords. These gold cords are worn by students who have received academic honors. Students with honors are also designated with asterisks in the commencement program. We are going to recognize our honor students now. Each year, the college recognizes our valedictorians, students with a high grade point average as well as outstanding accomplishments. For the College of Liberal Arts and Education, we ask that 2019 valedictorian Olivia Scamp to stand. Congratulations. For Civil and Environmental Engineering, we ask that the 2019 valedictorian Caleb Heese Weber to stand. Congratulations. Will the individuals who are granted magna cum laude please rise? These students earned a cumulative grade point averages above 3.5. Congratulations to our magna cum laude graduates. Now will the students earning the highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude please stand. These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and 4.0. Please join me in congratulating these summa cum laude graduates. You may be seated. Each faculty member has a different style of gown and accessories depending on his or her field and level of education. For PhDs, the hood is large, colorful, and has a silk patch and a velvet patch. The silk patch is the colors of the institution that gave the degree, and the velvet tells you what kind of degree it is. The doctoral gown has black velvet stripe that extends down the front and 3 black velvet stripes across the sleeves. For the master's degree, the hood is the same length as the doctor's hood, but does not fully expose the lining, and the velvet edge is not as wide. Faculty and staff wear the color of the institution that granted the highest degree they've been awarded. Please join me in recognizing our faculty. And now, all the individuals who are candidates for the bachelor degrees, please stand. Chancellor Shields, as Interim Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science, and upon completion of the prescribed curricula are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Interim Associate Vice Chancellor and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree that you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto.
And now, undergraduates, please take your tassels and move it from the right to the left of your mortarboard. You are now UW-Platteville graduates. Congratulations! Please be seated as we begin the awarding of the individual degrees. We know that this is an exciting time, but I ask that everyone show respect for the graduates and for those seated near you. All here are anxious to hear the name of their own graduate, so please refrain from excessive celebration or using artificial noisemakers. Registrar David Kiekeffer will read the names of the graduates. I ask that Dr. Melissa Gormley, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, come forward.
Thank you, Dr. Hanson. Thank you, Chancellor Shields. On behalf of the Chancellor Shields and Dr. Hanson, as Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science. Candidates, please begin coming forward.
Jane Denali Dicker. Brittany Joyce Ackerman. Abby S. Alderson. Faith Amber Alloy. David Michael Anick. Greg M. Arthur. Mary Patricia Bade. Dane Matthew Bakken-Drinkle. Margaret A. Baumgart. Cody S. Beshin. Alexandra May Bainey. Nicole S. Berquist. Quinn David Bennett. Michaela Marie Bennett. Nicole Levesque Bishop.
Katie L. Bradley, Matthew Robert Bonagowski, Jacob Lee Borman, Jacob A. Brandenburg, Hayden K. Brown, Cassandra Evelyn Buckholz, Taylor Ann Buckmaster, James Allen Cairns, Carrie K. Cattle, Shannon Diane Childress, Caleb Dan Szauskas, Silas Joel Coleman, Brianna Joe Conboy, Mackenzie May Calabrese, Justin Benjamin DeBeck, Caitlin Joe Douglas, Nicholas Allen DeRott, Ian Brooks Duff, Shayna Lynn Duncan, Kyle L. Engels, Julia Rose Enstrom, John David Dora Jr., Zhenya Fager, Tia Lee Fetterman, Alexander James Feiner, Molly Elizabeth Fensky, Megan Nicole Farrell, Tyler J. Fincutter, Megan Marie Foley, Matthew S. Fritz, Riley J. Gallagher, Trey Gallegos, Tabitha Sierra Gibson, Jacob W. Glennon, Taylor C. Gray, Taylor Jordan Grenoble, Jacob R. Gruey, Andrew Martin Groth, Madison Marie Grumman, Brandy Michelle Hall, Danielle Sage Hall, Kyron James Halverson, Carrie Kate Hardy, Janessa Ray Hauser, Jessie Bernadette Holly, Melody Page Hayden, Mackenzie Marie Highcomb, Allie R. Helgerson, Rebecca Taylor Hemke, Jeannie Marie Hernandez, Ashley Gail Hickey. Tristan T. Hirsch. Amber Jane Hoffman. Noah Lee Hollander. Hannah Kathleen Hoppa. Mitchell L. Hopman. John L. Hotchkiss. Caitlin Rose Hoven. Bailey Joe Hubbard. Jordan H. Huntley. Kevin A. Jansen. Mallory Rose Jensen. Gabrielle Nicole Jones. Drake W. Keel. Sophie K. Keith. Taylor M. Kisenik. Brianna L. Kirschbaum. Samuel J. Claus. Shannon Catherine Conkle. Dominique Marie Cornelli. Colton T. Kramer. Colin M. Cramper. Stephen M. Kunick. Matthew W. Landers. Cassidy Ann Langell. Adam Stephen Lawrence. Sabrina Lynn Leipfried. Rachel Marie Leibold. Refugio Kua Longoria. Crystal Susan Lopez. McKenna Lee Lupker. Marissa Flora Maldonado. Kayla J. Manhart. Haley M. Mann. Audrey Christine Markey. Tiana Rose McBride. Lindsay J. McCarran. Elizabeth May McCulloch. Tyler J. Merks. Kelly N. Mickelson. Dalton James Miles. Alyssa N. Miller. Angela Joy Miller. Bradley W. Null. Patrick M. Nate. Mia F. Nutrut. Zachary Ivor Olson. J. D. Oren. Jacob L. Patton. Colin R. Phelps. Abigail Margaret Pignatari. Ashley D. Pekalik. Aaron Michael Pliska. Joanna Polobitsky. Kaylee Ray Polotowski. Courtney Lee Price. Evan J. Pacalo. Rebecca B. Radke. Kevin C. Rand. Winifred Virginia Redfern. Carly Marie Riley. Brett M. Ryder. Elizabeth S. Ryder. Michael T. Romer. Courtney Ann Rowe. Alexander D. Royce. Kayla Marie Ruark. Savannah S. Sonulitz. Jessica Emily Schleiss. Courtney Jean Schmidt. Erica June Schwen. Haley M. Schwitzer. Zachary Lloyd Sherman. Alexander James Sigmund. Marissa Marie Silva De Leo. Aaron Duncan Sinkler. Olivia Jean Skemp. Shannon M. Smith. Cassandra Marion Sorensen. Tyler Colin Sorensen. Liam Patrick Spillane. Nicholas Ronald Stortz. Dakota Lynn Stout. Joshua John Stowe. Jordan Alexander Stricker. Taylor Lee Soufflon. Macy Michelle Sullivan. Corey Robert Teeter. Alexander K. Thayer. Sadie Ellen Tebow. Taylor Tamara Noni Tiemann. Joshua Micah Tillery. Natalie Anna Tischler. Dakota J. Tompkins. Zachary J. Tuzak. Hannah C. Van Hol. Elise M. Verdev. Abigail E. Wagner. Natalie Mae Walton. Blake Anthony Weidman. Erica A. Wellnitz. Megan M. Whipperford. Tiffany Ann Wilhelm. Jordan M. Williams. Richard Calvin Williams. Adam G. Winter. Devin James Whita. Krista May Wojciechowski. Taylor Irene Woodman. Tommy Na Xiong. Marissa Ann Yancey. Kelsey Jo Zettel. Catherine Ann Zagelski. Nicholas D. Ziegenhorn.
On behalf of the College of Liberal Arts and Education and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, congratulations, and please be seated.
Congratulations to all our College of LAE graduates. I now ask Dr. Christina Kuras, Chair of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, to come forward.
Congratulations to the largest ever graduating class from the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Chancellor Shields and Dr. Hansen, as Chair of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering, and Environmental Engineering. Candidates, please begin coming forward.
Jared Michael Baltus. Matthew J. Barman. Thomas J. Bitter. Tyler N. Blang. Isaac S. Brosinski. Tyler J. Brovelli. Tyler Joseph Buchanan. Anthony R. Berger. Taylor R. Chittick. Tyler A. Clausen. Dominic Allen Seifer. John Angelo Day. Sean Matthew DeMars. Ethan C. Dietrich. McKenna M. Farmer. Harold N. Fay. Corey S. Flood. Sean M. Fritchie. Tara M. Gambon. Eric L. Gens. Alexander Edward Godleski. Jonathan R. Getz. Justin N. Hazy. Kevin Edward Hahn. Hunter A. Halverson. Nathaniel David Haugen. Emerson C. Hegeman. Eric S. Henschel. Samuel Elias Hovde. Mason E. Hebel. Paige O. Jelinek. Alex J. Jerome. Jacob A. Johnson. Ross T. Kaler. David Kalenga Kasango. Samuel Lee Kaufman. Matthew Brian Kent. Donovan W. Kilker. Jalen Drew Knowlton. Tyler James Crystal. Matthew P. Lenz. Christian J. Lipinski. Ariel Genevieve Levine. Drew A. Lind. Garrett J. Lisney. Justin A. Malberg. Colin J. Moss. Cole Elton Meyer. Corey H. Mickle. Danielle L. Nelson. Samuel K. Nigber. Hunter Lee Nix. Russell R. Paramore. Duncan Mark Parham. Shane W. Peranto. Colin James Ployce. Kyle J. Priest. Chase J. Shabilsky. Walter J. Robles. Stephanie R. Rudolph. Carissa M. Rush. Joshua S. Shainman. Adam Richard Wallace. Jacob Vincent Serrata. Tanner N. Sinovi. Jalen I.G. Thomas. Grant C. Tuller. Caleb W. Upoff. Lisa A. Van Kirk. Nathan A. Virgin. Travis Robert Vodnick. Catherine M. Wardinsky. Caleb Heath Weber. Jacob Andrew Wiedeski. Jacob A. Winker. Timothy John Yeager. Tyler N. Zettel.
On behalf of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, the College of Engineering, Math, and Science, and the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, congratulations. Please be seated.
Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. Thank you to the following: the Commencement Committee, led by Ian Drager; Commencement Marshal, Dr. John Nakamji from the School of Education; Registrar David Kiekhofer, who read the names; student ambassadors who served as ushers; Pioneer Steel Plant Band for the music; Media Technology Services, and the Division of University Relations. For all those just mentioned who helped with today's ceremony, please rise and be recognized. Sitting in the front of the stage is a group who has taught and advised, and so much more, the graduating class. Will the UW-Platteville faculty and staff stand and be honored today by the graduating class? Please be seated. None of this would have been possible without this last group, who has helped our graduates throughout their collegiate careers and indeed their entire lives. Would the family and friends of the May 2019 graduates please stand and be recognized? Now, please turn to page 52 of your commencement program for the alma mater, led again by John Dora. Please stand.
Alma mater, grand and glorious, we shall ever be victorious. For our eternal
One more thing. The commencement ceremonies have been recorded and are available for on-demand viewing on the campus website. Please remain seated until the faculty has left the gymnasium. Once the faculty has reached their lobby, graduates are dismissed and can join their families and friends. The flags representing all the countries from which our students hail are displayed in the main lobby for pictures, as are the college banners. That concludes our ceremony. Once again, congratulations to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduating class of May 2019. Please begin the recession.